Hello everyone, welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, and this is the 20th episode, I think, in our Age of Wonders 3 co-op strategy series. I'm joined by Evan in this series, taking on 6 Emperor computers. We have narrowed it down to 3, and I'm sure most of you know this already, so I won't spend too much time on this. I'm trying to finish off the Draconian, so important things going on right now. For me, I've got my King's Army moving to take this city and then go underground looking for the Draconian's leader, as well as that other stack that's backed him up. Other important things are going on over here at Moldan, where I'm amassing really a huge force to try to help recapture Engranost, which this is something I need to do something about shortly. Evan has an army down here, 2 very powerful stacks, moving in on Brown, hopefully going to take some pressure out the front lines, and if he's lucky, make it all the way to their throne. And then, of course, there's Evan's mainland, which I'm not even going to try to explain what's going on there right now, because it is a mess. It's a huge mess. But if you want a better description as to what's going on, watch the videos on Evan's channel. He goes into a lot of detail about what's going on in this northwest part of the map. Now, Evan, you mentioned you had something to do, and I do as well. In fact, I have a couple of things that I'm going to do. I do want to point out that these armies the Chthonic Guardian that I'm going to be summoning on the next turn to deal with some of these enemy units that are flying in, just causing trouble. I'm going to try to summon that, and I'll kill them so that the Draconians can't get their capital city back, at least not for long. But the Chthonic Guardian won't be a ghoul, because freshly summoned ones they're not. Even for a Necromancer. You have to pair them with a Necromancer hero that can turn them into a ghoul if it's an Archlich, or you can find a well of well of undead. So I'm actually going to send the Goblin Rogue and one of these Storm Sisters back, because with Armageddon active, he won't heal by himself, the Chthonic Guardian. So I have to make sure he's got a way of staying alive, so I'm going to turn them around on the next turn. Now, with regard to Angrenost, Evan, do you want me...
Whoops.
Well, Evan accidentally started his battle a little bit earlier than he planned, but he picked off a couple more Shrines of Smiting that had moved into a bad location. Okay, so with regard to Angrenost, I am going to send... Should I send my units out towards it now?
Yeah.
Okay, because you've got all those Exalteds right there, so hopefully we can kind of catch him off guard here. All of these units have full movement, so I think they're good to go. Yep. I want to make sure they all end in a triangle here. I'm just going to ignore the haste berries for now and actually use it to help a 4th army catch up, I think. Now they can move 1 more space. They can move 1 more space. This army back here can move 1 more space. So I'm going to bunch them up like this. That army could actually move 2 spaces if they stayed on the road. Yeah, I guess that's worth doing. I can edge just slightly closer. Oh wait, no I can't, because the orcs don't have forestry. They wouldn't be able to move onto that tile. That's fine. They're good where they are. I need to make sure these units can reach those haste berries on the next turn. They actually can't. So I'm going to have to pick which ones that I want to join this army and move them ahead a little bit. I will probably take, because they're going to be doing a lot of city defense, definitely want the Storm Sister and both archers. That leaves me with room for 1 more unit. I will take another Storm Sister just because I'm producing them in this city. And I'll leave that archer in there. Probably leave all these units together, but just on the edge of the city to defend it if needed or run out if they're not needed. And then they can join up with that army on the next turn. Okay, and these guys will stay there. Alright, that wraps up this turn. I do want to pay a little more closer attention. Last episode I kind of messed up. I went to the next turn and had forgotten I needed to do something quickly. There's nothing that I need to do quickly right now except for summoning that Guardian, and I think I'm going to summon it at this city and kill that bird simply because that bird is closer to this city, and then start moving it back. So I will lose the Draconian's former capital, but only temporarily. Actually, I might not, because I'm going to be creating a flyer in there on the next turn. So it might be able to defend the city. Let's hope so. Okay, summon the Guardian. You can only summon it within 2 spaces of the city. And I will attack this eagle before it even takes the city. Just to ensure nothing funny goes on, I am going to do a manual combat. I don't want my Guardian attacking at all. He should just be defending. I'm going to get up in its face, though. Actually, I could do a defensive strike. Soften it up a bit.
That's an Eagle Rider, though. He can just use wing beats and fire pistol, like the entire battle.
Oh, he could alternate.
Attack you.
He could alternate between the two. Yeah, and neither one of them. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Well, look at how much damage he's doing in retaliation. 1 to 3 times 3. So I think I'm going to be okay. Okay, this is not going well. I did not expect to get frozen there. He stopped at the Shrine to the Frozen Beauty on his way over here. Well, I could dispel. That's going to be my best chance. I have to dispel that, because as long as he's not doing that much damage to me, I should be fine. In fact, I would kill him on this turn. Unless he gets lucky. Worth it. Got it. Okay, that's enough of that. Jeez. Should remember to check unit abilities every time. The fact that it came from up north and got a Shrine to the Frozen Beauty makes me wonder where exactly it came through. I would imagine it would be in the snow somewhere. I'm a little worried they have a city out here somewhere that I haven't seen yet. There is that giant city, but a halfling eagle rider wouldn't have come from that. I suppose it could be leftover something from this city over here, although that's Draconian now too. Well, they might have another city out there somewhere. I guess I shouldn't be surprised if they do. Well, that's not going to go well for me. Some group of animals found my... Yep. Group of animals found my builder and are going to kill it. If they come running into my capital, that could cause an issue, so I'm going to go ahead and build another archer in there. And probably sit the shock trooper on that for a turn to see if they come running this direction. Actually, I don't think I need to do that. No, they could reach it on the next turn potentially. So yeah, I'm going to keep him in there and add an archer into that city just in case. Continue making Storm Sisters for the foreseeable future. Evan's army still has all their movement, but it is going to take me another turn to get there. I guess I should just move them as far as I can. I do want to make sure that my other stat can catch up. There's a certain formation that I need to make sure they end the turn in. So have them go here. Have them go here. They might just barely... they just barely can't make it onto that tile. Do I have any units in this group that are slightly faster? No, there's nobody that could make it there. Just one turn away, unfortunately. I could leave the shock trooper behind and have him catch up. And that's probably the best solution, just to get those extra Storm Sisters and a Necromancer hero up there. He can catch up later. I'm going to keep the two most powerful armies kind of in the center of where everybody is moving. Haven't got some more kind of miscellaneous goblin units running around underground, and I think he's going to get another group here on the next turn. What I was saying was that with the formation of these units as I move them forward towards the city, I kind of want to make sure the two most powerful stacks are in the middle because of the way the, I guess, triangle formation kind of works. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a second here. This stack is obviously not the most powerful stack, but it's probably stronger than this one because it has a Necromancer hero. No, I don't know. They're probably about equivalent strength. But these two are probably my better ones. With those shock troopers. Whoops. Close. And hold ground. There's Angrenost. So let's see. These guys can get as far as this tile, actually. The one that those guys are sitting on. These guys can move here. They can move here. And they can move there. That puts my army in a pretty strong formation, regardless of what angle the enemy might attack from. If they're stupid, it would pull off 4 groups into the battle, but if they attack from either edge, they might only pull 3 in. So I'll have everybody give them a wait order for now. This Goblin City still wants peace with me. You know, at this point, I've been ignoring them this whole time, but to be honest, I don't really need the extra growth anymore. My cities are all very big. In fact, Undead Plague's probably just wasting magic at this point. So for the first time in a while, I'm going to give peace to those poor goblins. For the first time in 80 turns. I bet they're happy. So that should have automatically canceled Undead Plague on that city. I should probably make sure, but I don't see it active on anything right now. So yeah. Good for them. Okay, now I had mentioned with regard to my research, I really want Age of Death. I want my tier 7 spell, but there's a problem in that it's not showing up. So what I'm going to do is cast Seek Inspiration, which will take me a turn, but I think it'd be worth it to re-roll what's in my book, because I also really need Greater Disjunction, and if either of those comes up, it'd be totally worth researching. So I'm going to cast Seek Inspiration, but before I do that, I want to find out how long it would take me to disjunct the Armageddon spell that the goblins have up. Because Evan's Disjunction is probably not going to work. I think, what, your odds of success for, like...
It's 30%.
30%. So... mine says 5%, and it would take me 5 turns.
Yeah, don't bother. Just gonna hope I get lucky.
It'll be hopefully more efficient if I can get the Greater Disjunction. So for now I'm going to cast Seek Inspiration. Just re-roll those random spells. Got a Shooting Grounds here. I think that's the last thing that I needed to to be able to make my really good archers. Do one last check here. Arena, laboratory. A wooden wall would probably be good to have in this city, but I think I'd rather start cranking out archers. It would take too long to make that. Guess I could get it in one turn if I need to in an emergency. But yeah, everything else, the archers have the best of what they could possibly get. So I can finally just tell this city to start infinitely producing archers, which is really nice. Because there's a couple goblins in there that are more powerful than these guys can take out, I'm going to move them back into the city and just have them hold ground for now. And I'm just going to put them on camp so it doesn't bother me. As far as my research right now goes, I was hoping to be able to cast Seek Inspiration on this turn, but I'm going to have to research something else for a little bit. Necromancy right now is the only thing that really makes sense. Advanced Logistics might be kind of nice. Yeah, that would actually probably be really nice. I should get that, or at least start researching it. I don't see a way that could not be extremely useful. Okay, with this city safe and firmly under my control, I'm going to keep upgrading these cities and trying to get towards that palace, but I don't actually have enough money right now, so we'll need merchandise on this turn. Same thing for these other cities. That's actually a dwarf city. It's good to know. Yay! Well, for the first time in a while, we have some really good news to report regarding pushing into the enemy's land. Actually, for the first time ever, I don't think we've really taken any of Brown's stuff yet. Although this wasn't really originally Brown City, it was originally the Archdruid's capital, but Evan has at least taken a chunk out of Brown's land, and is only 2 cities away from Brown's capital. Hopefully he doesn't get attacked by, like, 24 Manticore riders all at once. It looks like Orange's scout is going back towards Thor's Bud. My flyer could intercept it on the next turn. I think I'm going to try to do that. It's got Wing Beat and Fire Pistol, which puts him at an advantage, but I'll just use magic to win. I'm also not sure. I could probably actually get a second flyer in to help out. That would probably be best. And just so I can move them faster, I'll stack them on top of one another. Okay, now like I was saying with these units, I need both of them, or I need 2 of them to go back to help that Chthonic Guardian. Along the way, there just so happens to be a hero here that Orange never had the time to buy. I get a probable victory against him. He's a level 5. I should be fine. I'm level 6 and have spells and a Storm Sister to support. But I'm actually going to try to charm him. Or the Storm Sister's just going to outright murder him. Okay. Oh, whatever. I'll just take his stuff. Ooh, a 3rd blowpipe. Jeez. You can have one. And you can have one. You. There we go. Alright, so have them go over to that guy, and then this kind of group of 3 units should be more than enough to keep any stragglers out of this area. And then these guys can take those other 2 gold rank Storm Sisters. I'm going to go back towards Moldan and eventually join them up with the army at Angrenost. Might not be a bad idea to have them do some scouting out here. What I might end up doing is putting together a small army to go east and kind of look for Draconian cities. They probably have that giant capital, but I don't know how strong of a force they have in there. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. There's a crack in there. I might be able to kill that because of the Storm Sister's stun, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I probably could. What do you think about that? The army that's sailing across the bay towards Moldan? I mean, it'd be kind of nice if I could kill that. Those aren't easy to get. I would say that if I used... Let's look at his abilities. I don't see these very often. Terror from the Deep. Does more damage against embarked units. Could potentially swallow my units whole. But its resistance isn't that high. I guess 13's pretty good, but if it let its guard down, I could probably get it. Might actually be able to... You know what? I could probably use stiffen limbs to slow it down a bit too. I think I'd be okay. I'm probably going to attack that on the next turn too. Should have plenty of opportunities to stun. Okay, this army's in much better shape now. I'm getting to a point where I could really use the income, so I'm going to try to take out this dwarf structure over here. This is probable victory, but my units are a much higher rank. I think I'll be okay. I will probably lose something here, but I'm not going to shed any tears over this dwarf army necessarily. I also have 2 deep guards in here, which are going to be very nice against those cavalry. Leave that cavalry on the flank, archers in the back, these guys somewhere where they can be annoying, and the reanimator here just to heal. He can also revive anyone that dies if necessary. We're going to bunch these guys up in the middle. Move the archers up. See if they take the bait from here. Will they go for it? Nope. Gonna make me bring the fight to them. Okay. That's fine. That lets me close off this whole area. Let's do a little damage to the crossbowmen. Boar riders will kill themselves quickly enough against my spears. In fact, I'm going to send this unit that way and this one that way to deal with him. And they're going to run back this way. Lifesteal just makes this too easy. Well, these guys took a beating, so I'll go ahead and patch them up a bit. And I'm sure this group would just love to get at those archers. Hopefully waste some time. Well, they still didn't kill them. I was actually kind of hoping they would, because I could revive them if they did. Those guys are on defense. I don't see any reason to actually attack them. Just let them come to me. Oh, those guys got blasted. That's fine. I could revive another cadaver, but this reanimator's got enough work on his hands keeping these guys alive. So instead, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this thing off. Probably give the experience to somebody who's not gold rank yet, which the only person would be the archer. Okay, that gets me a nice bit of income per turn. Some decent robes. Cure disease. These are okay. Honestly, I have better torso items in my army, and there's not a lot of blight terrain on the map. At least, well, there's going to be... there is going to be, because Evan's turning all his terrain into blight. He actually might be able to use that item. I'm going to give that to him. Whoops. Okay. I don't know where I would have put that. My gosh, I have a lot of items. It's like black robes. It's in there somewhere. Oh wait, you know what the problem is? It's not on our hero. I actually have to send it to someone first. That's fine. I'll send it to my Tigran Druid. He's got plenty of inventory space. Or I could have sent it to that new Necromancer. Anyway, that's a little bit of extra gold. I'll probably clear out some of those other structures soon too. Okay, back down now to the main event, I guess. Pushing down towards the city. There's an annoying mountain in the way, which is slowing me down significantly. There's no way I can split my units up to really account for that, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. On the next turn, he can run around like that, and that one can move onto that tile. Alright, these guys are going back to correct a mistake that I made earlier, abandoning this city. Too many goblin things around that could be a problem. They're going to go get it back. And probably stay here to guard this center area of the map. Because it's right underneath map Moldan, it's too important to lose. And my king's army is probably going to end up cruising back through this part of the underground anyway. So there's not really a whole lot of sense in me sending them this way when this is where my king's army is going to be. Other than to support the king's army if he runs into a lot of resistance, which, if that was going to happen, I would have expected it to happen by now. Auto-combat that. Okay, so that gets me my city back. There is another goblin unit out there, and there's... Oh, hey, here's some more. Oh, gosh. There's a goblin army of fairly significant size moving through the underground. I guess they're not too bad. There's only one Shrine of Smiting. Hey, that's their king. Goblin King is in the underground near Moldan. But I don't think we even know where their capital is yet, do we?
No.
That's too bad. Still, killing their king would be pretty nice. Well, these guys are out of movement anyway, so we'll see what they do on the next turn. Okay, taking this back, turning it into Ghoul City. Keeping these guys where they are, as well as her. Whoop, I can't click. There. And then the Orc Shock Trooper, I'll just bring him along. Okay. That wraps all that up. Anything else going on? Not as far as I know. Quick things I need to do on the next turn. Probably attacking that Kraken. first attacking this Eagle Rider before it takes a city. That's probably more important. Yeah, there's a Juggernaut coming out of the underground that's going to be annoying, but once these guys get down here, I think that'll be okay. Should be able to handle that. It's going to go recapture that city on the next turn, but there's nothing I can do to stop that. Okay. Here we go. Go, go, go. There we go. Hopefully this guy doesn't have any weird abilities that something bizarre that I wouldn't expect. Okay. Festival of Light and Evil Slayer. I don't have any dedicated evil units, so that actually doesn't matter at all. This one's gonna be over fast. Okay, that takes care of that little pest control problem. I can start sending them back towards the Draconian's capital, have them help hold it. Oh, well, the Kraken's coming to me. I don't really want to lose these two Storm Sisters, so I need to be careful. First things first, I want to stiffen its limbs. Just the other spells may come in handy, but that'll at least slow it down a little bit. And maybe keep it just out of range of my Storm Sisters to where they could hit it. I want to make sure if it hits anything, it's hitting this guy. Now this chance of stunning it is extremely low. I'm going to have to lure it into coming in and attacking this guy. I don't want him to take a hit because of the chance to swallow whole, but don't know that I have much of an option. Maybe it has some effects on it that I could dispel. Well, I wouldn't want to dispel them now because I've already cast Stiffen Limbs, but it doesn't have anything particularly helpful. What else could I do? I could siphon its life. I could just cast Death Ray. Dark Gift would be kind of nice. Death Ray wouldn't do a lot of damage. I think I'm going to... Dark Gift will cost 50 magic. I'm gonna go ahead and just hold back. Let the Storm Sisters try to get a flank on it when it comes in and goes after that guy in the middle. Keep them on both sides of it. Make sure it can't hit them. One more check. That looks good. This Storm Sister could use a little healing, so I'll do that now. And please don't swallow me whole. Oh, they blinded that Storm Sister. Nice move. Fortunately, it didn't swallow me whole. Now I have a 25% chance to stun, and I did get it. So that helps tremendously. Allowing this unit to just kind of light it up. It's also on fire, which is very nice. This Storm Sister's blinded, so I'm going to just have her come in, do a point-blank shot in the back. He is facing the wrong direction. He blinded the Draconian Raptor that has no range attacks. Wonderful. Got the stun again. Both Storm Sisters are at gold medal rank, but so is the Raptor. There, I stunned it for 2 turns. That gives me time to have her go heal this guy, and then she can finish this thing off. It's nice not having that floating out there in the water. Race governance level up for the Draconians. Crushers and Chargers gain regrowth ability, or magma forges in the domains of Draconian cities generate an additional 10 production. They got that city. I knew that was going to happen. Couldn't do anything about it. I'll just have to get it back. Holding their capital is the most important, of course. Let's look at how many magma forges I have in my land, because I do have a lot of Draconian cities down here, and this would give all of the magma forges plus 10 production. Enough that I think I want the magma forge buff. It would only be, well, this city might get another one. I'll take that. I don't anticipate using chargers very much, and definitely not crushers.
Oh. Well, brown's coming to me.
Well, Evan just had a fairly important battle. Unfortunately lost. Did take a lot of units with him. Apparently the city he had over here had been surrounded for a while, and it just now fell. He lost a lot of units out there. And that army is only presumably going to move east. He's still got some stuff back defending his land, but the clock's definitely ticking. My hero just got an upgrade, my rogue. And, well, there's a lot of good things he could have. But I think poison knowledge would maybe be the most useful. That would give a little poison damage to my Chthonic Guardian that's going to be in his group. It'd be kind of nice. I like poison knowledge. I really like any of those upgrades that give a benefit to all the units in a stack. Not going to do anything else with him for now. I guess I could give him a little bit of defense. He's got a lot of defense, though. Come on now. Seems to be stuck. There we go. Oh, more units invading. Well, that's annoying. More juggernauts, and it's going to make me waste time going after them. They've definitely got a lot of units coming from this northeast area. They've got something out there. I don't know whether they're just sending them out of a cave entrance or what. Anyway, this is ready to cast, so I'm going to do that now. That re-rolls everything, and it does give me Age of Death. Does not give me Disjunction, Greater Disjunction. Age of Death would take 9 turns to research. I could cast it in 6 turns. So 15 turns from now I could have that active. But that's 15 turns of not... Well, no, I'd still be able to cast spells for a while. But I wouldn't be able to do anything about disjuncting Armageddon. Don't know if it's worth it or not. You know, I think we've survived long, and the game seems to be a very drawn-out game. I think I do want to get this. Get that Age of Death. What this does is that each time a battle is fought, there's a 35% chance that units that fell will return from the grave as ghouls under your control. So basically, all the fighting, I think it applies to Evan's stuff too. It just says each time a battle is fought. It doesn't say I have to be the one fighting it, although that might be implied. So either way, it'd still probably be good. It won't do me much good against the Dreadnought, but by the time I am able to cast it, I'm hoping the Dreadnought will be dead anyway. So of course he can't heal with Armageddon active, and I'm gonna have to do something about these units. I could probably attack them on the water like I had planned to do before. We'll have to bring both armies back together to do that, but that may be what I have to do. It's just frustrating because I'm wasting time dealing with them. You know, this army may just not have the luxury of being able to go back to Moldan. I may just have to use them to deal with these problems instead. Okay, need to not forget to do that on the next turn. It was a stupid mistake last time that I shouldn't make again, because it made it that much harder to defend the city. Well, with his small amount of health, he won't do much good over there, so there's nothing left for this Guardian to do other than join up with the rest of my army. There is a haste berries there. He couldn't have quite reached it, but maybe on the way back that could be useful. There's a good chance that Juggernaut's going to come cruising down and just start retaking these undefended cities.
We'll get preyed at very hard.
Well, haven't had a slightly better battle. He's cruising into Brown's territory here, and Brown doesn't seem to have anything that could really stop him. He's got scattered Manticore riders everywhere, but he's going to need a pretty big group to take out those two stacks. Had another small battle in the underground, taking out leftover goblins. So I know I lost that city. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through my notifications here to get rid of these. See what those animals did on this turn. Well, they didn't go after my capital, so that's probably fine. I'll have that other orc hop in there with the longbowman on the next turn, but send this one back south. Okay, got this city back under my control. I'm going to start thinking about moving my throne city down here to the southeast. Of course, until I have firm control over this area, that's probably a bad idea. Orange does keep sending things in and being a nuisance. Evan has a proposal for me.
I have a demand for you.
Ooh, Evan demands that I give him itchweed, which sounds like a disease. Okay, you can have it.
And don't forget to let me be the one to attack Engranost when you move up.
Right, I haven't even gotten over there yet. I'm doing all these other things. I'd almost completely forgotten about Angrenost. I'm just moving through all like a billion notifications right now. So my main capital city I should probably put back on producing merchandise. Again, I do have a lot of money now, once again, which is encouraging, but I'm afraid to spend it down here, which is where I was planning to spend it to build those undead palaces. Concerned about that, simply because of the amount of units that seem to be coming this way. I'll eventually get firm control over this area, even if it is with just a bunch of flyers, but it might take me a little while. I don't know what that city wants. Alright, Storm Sisters, more of them, always good. Okay. We should be able to take this pretty easily. I'll leave these guys here because that stack could use another unit. And then just bring the shock trooper along after we do the attack. Alright, these guys should get wrecked. We have a lot of units outside the wall. Oh my gosh. Now I need to use this battle. I need to think carefully in this battle, because this is another one where I need to try to get some of these Storm Sisters to gold rank if possible. So, kind of want to take a quick overview, look at which ones are where. Evan's got to move first anyway, so kind of pay attention to that. This Storm Sister needs promoted.
I think all your storms. No, you've got one.
No, I got one gold rank already. Most of them are grouped out here in this army. There's 3 of them out there. And getting them promoted is going to make a huge difference in whether or not I can hold this city by myself. Hopefully Evan's Exalteds can be enough of a distraction to give them opportunities to hit things. have this guy go right up in the middle. Nothing really threatens him too much unless he gets stunned or some other debuff like that. Not going to do anything too fancy with my units here. They're just going to be running forward. We should be able to just overpower them with the sheer amount of force that we have. Just need to be careful not to lose anything in a stupid way. Everybody charge! This army I will let kind of slide towards this gate over here to maybe I can get them to split up and do something dumb. Just to hit them from a slightly different angle. And because I really can't even fit that many units in the center of the map, have them fight effectively. I think that's everybody. Yeah, that's everybody. Go ahead and throw your trebuchets. Well, they split up in a really kind of dumb way. Evan's Exalted will keep that trebuchet from doing anything other than running away, which it probably will. Going to have these guys fall back. Yeah, I don't really want them to die. And pop healing there. Get the cadaver up front. He has resurgence, so he'll just come back. That's like a champion 1 cadaver. Not sure what I want these people to do yet. I don't really want them to fly out and kill the Storm Sister. That would be kind of bad, so I'm going to be a little careful with her, leave her back here. She can't quite hit anything from here, but on the next turn she should be able to. What Evan's done with his units should trigger the computers into attacking something. And I'll move my Tigran up just a bit. Just to where he could get hit by the Griffin Rider, but not both the Griffin Rider and the Manticore Rider. Since Evan's Martyrs all have Resurgence, or his Exalteds all have Resurgence, don't have to worry too much about them dying. And I'm just going to stick him right up here to put some pressure. Of course, my orcs can climb walls, so that'll be hopefully helpful soon. And I need to remember that this unit has charm. It'd be nice if I could get... Well, I can't get the Manticore Riders because of mind control immunity, but I might be able to get that Griffin or something. In fact, on that note, I'm going to move her down towards that direction. Any extra units right now are helpful. Send the one Storm Sister that I have that does have stun towards the Manticore Riders, because that's where most of the help is needed. Both of those units have flying, so I'm going to be a little careful with mine, leaving them more in defense. That one can't move quite as far, but far enough to be able to hit her, and I don't want both things hitting her, so we'll hold her back just a little bit. Actually, the Wyvern can fly a lot further. There we go. Shock Troopers up, Archers up. Everybody is in pretty good shape. Anybody else that can move at all? The orcs can move a tad bit more. Him, I'm going to hold... Yeah, I'll put him right up against the gate. Should be fine. Should probably use him to give rallying cry to all my units. Although, actually, that doesn't affect undead, so... At least I don't think it does. Alright, that's everybody. Let's see if he gets really aggressive. He does. Okay, so far still no one has died, except for whoever was standing there. Who was standing here? Oh, one of Evan's Orc Exalted, so none of my units have died yet. I don't need to worry about reviving anything. This should hopefully put me in a good position to start getting a lot of flank attacks and stunning things. Definitely want her to be the one to kill that Manticore Rider if possible, or that one. Doesn't really matter.
Do you want me to just take that trebuchet out, or will you be able to handle it without losing anything?
Just take the Treb out. That's more annoying than anything else, and I can't get a unit up there. And it's doing a decent amount of damage to the Storm Sisters. Or any tier 1 unit. To see what that Manticore Rider does, he might kill something. The one that's kind of near the Griffin Rider, the enemy Griffin Rider. My army over there isn't that strong. But if I do lose something, I can at least revive one unit with the Lesser Reanimate Undead. Actually, I could revive 2 because I have another Necromancer with me. I just need to pay attention and watch to see when they go down. Alright, Cadaver has Resurgence. I'm just going to use it to be a pain in the butt to this Griffin Rider. That extra poison damage helps. That other Manticore Rider I'm not so sure about, because I have 2 to deal with here and I can only stun one of them, and that's kind of an if I can stun one of them. They're in a better position to shoot this one. It's not very likely that I'll get that stun, but it's at least a flank attack. Oh, I did get the stun. That's convenient. Well, I don't want to mess around too much, so I'm going to have these guys chunk off a good bit of its health. Pretty sure the physical arrows will probably do more damage, but, well, let's see. Minimum of 2 plus 1 plus 6 is 9. Just regular arrows would be minimum of 8. Arcane arrows actually would do a little bit more damage. Not a lot, but a little. Okay, let's see if she can take that thing out. If she does, I'll probably have to try to do something to lower that Manticore Rider's movement. I can't do stiffen limbs because that won't affect him because he's flying. Is there a different Storm Sister that can maybe get that kill? Not really. Well, I can leave him alive. He's not going to do anything on this turn, but I don't want this other Manticore Rider running down and killing that Storm Sister. So I'm just going to move her here. If she shoots at it, she at least won't get flank attacked. Maybe the archers, maybe I have another unit that can soften it up a bit more. Those guys, not so much. I'm just going to kind of back these units up. take that other Manticore Rider seriously. Let it kill the cadavers if it wants. Okay, lots of other units to mess around with. Chthonic Guardian... I might just have him kill that Griffin Rider. It's in kind of an annoying place. It could flank a lot of units. It is a little trapped, but it could, of course, just run out if it wanted to. These Storm Sisters down here should probably all just get some XP hitting this Gold Wyvern. Maybe I can get it to turn a little bit. Yep, just a bit, just enough to let this one get out. Hit it from a different angle. And then let her, well, not quite kill it. Probably not quite kill it. What's her odds to stun? Well, I have 50% odds to kill, basically. And only 40% odds to stun. And I did not get the kill. Rather than have it flank one of them and kill it, I am going to just take it out now. I'm just going to take that Griffin Rider out now, too. It does have Tireless, so unless I need somebody else to get experience, I'd probably give it to the Chthonic Guardian. Wouldn't really mind getting him upgraded. He does eventually get Instant Wrath and Total Awareness, and that's amazing, so I will go ahead and just let him get that experience. Her on defense and get the archer back out to where it could potentially do something in this battle. She can probably soften this guy up a little bit more. Yeah. Let her get some XP for that. Everyone else is probably good with where they're currently at. I'm just going to kind of move them all forward. Yep. Ouch. Now I can't revive those shock troopers, so I'll need to make sure that I protect them or heal them on the next turn. I don't think I lost anything else other than the cadaver, though, did I? I don't think I did. So that Crypt of Unlife is what gave the enemy Evan's Orc Exalted. Which is something we'll have to consider. Can't let the battle drag on too long.
Wonder if he'll still resurge since he got unlifed.
I don't know. That is a good question. So Evan moving his Exalteds over there will be nice. Kind of get some stuff in the way. Alright, this Storm Sister should be able to kill that Griffin Rider now. Or Manticore Rider pretty easily. I want to get her out of the way of the other one so it can run out and try to participate a little bit. Doesn't quite get her a promotion, but still valuable experience, and will help her get promoted quickly in the event that another battle breaks out. Determining whether to shoot the Manticore Rider or the Orc Exalted in this situation is has me thinking a little bit. I'm going to keep a more defensive position and shoot the Orc Exalted, soften him up a little bit. Maybe when the Manticore Rider flies in closer, I can use that to give more XP to a Storm Sister. You know, that orc needs healing really bad. I'm going to go ahead and give it some healing now. Use her to do that instead. Actually, I have a Necromancer that can do that. Got a stun on that guy, so that's kind of nice. Oh wait, right, I did want to try to charm this. Okay, so he's not interested in joining my side. Just to get him out of there, I'll shoot him with pretty much everything I have and then probably finish him with the Orc. I have a lot of archers in this group. Everybody gets a shot off on that guy. Alright, Mr. Orc, go ahead and do your thing. Jeez. Yeah, I really would rather him not die. Fortunately, the Manticore Rider can't reach him. Can reach my Necromancer hero, though, and do a lot of damage. But the Exalted is out of action points, so he can't help. I'll have everyone hold around where they're at. I think they're okay. Ouch. Alright, well, the obvious thing I need to do is try to stun him. Hopefully Evan can soften him up a bit to make it a little easier to kill. So many units on the battlefield, it's almost hard to tell where everything is. Alright. Move her over here and try to get that stun. 20%, so it's not terrible odds, but unfortunately I don't get it. I'll just have to weaken it and soften it up with other attacks. And she should be able to get the finishing hit. That's going to end the battle when I do that. I think I'm pretty sure we destroyed everything they had.
They've got those 2 units that got Crypt of Unlifed.
Oh right, it blended in with yours. I see all these fluttering Exalteds everywhere, and yeah, there's the Wyvern down there. That's the other one. I did not see the Wyvern. Well, the Storm Sister should be able to handle that. In fact, all of these range units combined should. Those arcane arrows don't really do me any extra good in this situation. Can anyone else get down there to hit that? Should do slightly more damage at closer range. There we go, a couple critical hits, that helps. Hopefully she can finish this off. Yeah, she's got it. There we go. Okay, now that that little pest problem is taken care of, do I have any Storm Sisters left that have movement besides the one that I'm going to try to promote? I do not. Which means I'm pretty much out of units that can heal at this point. That's fine. I can take out the Exalted. I can not reanimate anything. I could make a corpse. I don't want to raise the corpse of Evan's Exalted because that'll probably definitely make it so he doesn't get to keep it. And I can't move this guy to raise the corpse. I'm not going to worry about it that much. Just going to take this guy out. Well, we've got Angrenost back. It looks like your Exalted did not survive the battle. Are you going to be taking those other 5 to the southeast?
I'm going to be taking those to the northwest.
Going after Anthoria then?
Yeah, and I need some help.
Okay. We will bring a band of merry men. How much should I bring? Everything I've got?
Maybe leave 1 stack, just so some little straggler doesn't come in and take it. Brown seems to be going after the cities in the south right now.
Okay. Well, I can do that. Let's see, who's got the most Storm Sisters? Okay, this army's got plenty of healing. This one has a gold rank Storm Sister, so she needs to be involved. I guess it's a question of who can stay behind, really, more than anything else. The Cadaver, the Reanimator. Should probably have the Druid leading an army. Alright, let's do this. You're going to get an army. You definitely need to be somewhere. Whoops. Oh, wait, I can't move onto your city. No, I don't want to attack Evan's city. This stack's pretty solid. I'm going to keep them together. I like having that orc in there because he does the poison damage, which helps against the elves. So I'll just move them up the road right behind Evan. Except I am going to split one off. Put him there. And then give control of the army to that guy. This guy's army has plenty of healing, this Necromancer army. So I'm going to leave 1 Storm Sister behind. Put it with this group that could really use some healing right now. Could really use some healing in general. Unfortunately, that Shock Trooper can't quite catch up with everybody else. But Chthonic Guardian can. So I'll put him with that army for the moment. Might change that later. Okay, that puts them together. One slight problem, I do want 1 more Storm Sister in this group. In one of these groups, anyway. Probably leave one behind and put the gold rank one with the army that's moving forward. That way this army isn't without any shock damage at all. And then that shock trooper and that group can stay in the city. That's probably good. It's difficult to decide how to split units up in a situation like this, but these 3 stacks are probably better suited to attacking. May move something around to leave one more archer, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Let's just try to finish off this turn, because we are running a little over here. Okay, so that city's now under Evan's control. I already know the city's producing longbowmen, so I don't necessarily need an update every time it does. These guys do kind of need to attack this. Actually, they could use some healing before that happens, so I'll go ahead and have them wait. Oh, right. This, of course. Taking out 3 juggernauts. You know, we're a little too deep in the episode for me to start another kind of big battle like that, so I'm going to have to do that when we get back on. Good. Whoa, no. I want to unweight. Actually, that army is still going to prompt me what to do with my King's Main stack, so that's okay. I think where everything's at right now is probably a good place to wrap up. I mean, there are things I'd like to do now, but we're just running out of time. Already about 15 minutes over. So, in the next episode, I need to attack this city, of course. And I also need to remember at the beginning of the next turn, gotta do that Navy battle. Don't want to have to face them on the land again if possible. Got a little lucky with my stuns last time, I think. But those are the main 2 things. Just need to remember to do those 2 things, and I think I'll be fine. Overall, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Evan losing this city out to the east, Nipuk, or to the west, Nipuk, kind of hurts a little bit. But hopefully, the army that we were going to have defending Moldan, with it now advancing into Evan's land, we can fight over here instead of fighting over here, and that's a lot better for us, just keeping the pressure on them. Plus, Evan seems to be having a lot of success down here in the south. That's very helpful, too. And hopefully, over time, that's going to force Brown to maybe pull some units back from the front line. Might make recapturing Nipuk a little easier. Popping underground for a second, I did unfortunately not make it into the underground, so still have no idea what these guys have down here. The one thing to keep an eye on is, well, where'd they go? A goblin army that was down here ran off somewhere else, so as long as they're not going towards Moldan, I'm okay. And these 2 stacks are pretty tough. They should do a pretty good job of defending whatever gets thrown their way. But yeah, that about sums it up. So, with that all being said, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Appreciate all the support, all the comments, all the feedback. I've learned a lot from you guys throughout this series. Can't say thank you enough. Be sure to watch the Evans commentary on his channel. He's kind of changing up his format a bit to sort of focus more on the key elements and key battles, important parts of the game, and does a very good job overviewing the broader context of what's going on, especially on the strategic map. So definitely worth checking his videos out too. Link to his channel is in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you in episode 21.